A very good evening to you, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Q8 Pilot Channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours of local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Today, we are going to be taking a look at X-Plane in what I regard as the next level. This is the best that I have seen X-Plane since I started back in 2015. Few add-ons that are paid that really makes this sim looks pretty comparable to Microsoft Flight Sim in terms of the satellite imagery, and with Simheaven, map enhancement, things are looking spectacular. I am really oozing with excitement today to stream this this live flight to you from Seattle to Missoula in Montana. And we are going to first take a look at our briefing for the flight. And while we are in cruise, I will give you all the tips that you need to learn or know in order to run map enhancement without issues. And I did have some issues with it, of course, but we're going to go through that during our cruise today. Want to welcome all of you guys. We have with us today, let me see here, we have George, is it Greg? Sorry, Gregory. Gregory, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us here, and I will address your issue. Hopefully, we'll be able to address it. Mr. Adult320, welcome aboard. Thomas, hello, Thomas. Thanks for the support, my friend. Appreciate it very much. Hello, Stan. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. And Mr. Valero, welcome aboard. Hello, Mr. Boy. Glad to have you with us. And we also have Carl. How are you doing? It's been a long time, my friend. And we have also Camille. I'm sorry if I'm using this incorrectly. I'm saying your name incorrectly. But welcome aboard from North Korea. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. All right. So our flight today is going to be a short flight. We are at Seattle Tacoma International, and we're going to be heading to Missoula in Montana. Our cruise altitude is 37,000 feet. And without further ado, let's hop into the cockpit. But first, we're going to take a look at the beautiful scenery here without any orthos, without anything. This is map enhancement, and as you can see, it is just perfect. We are also using Simheaven today, and you can see here the nice buildings there with the photoreal textures. Things are just looking fantastic in X-Plane. Okay, so that said, let's hop into this beautiful livery of Alaska Airlines, and let's come here. Very nice. I did a test flight today, and I was really excited to see X-Plane look, so beautiful. So first thing first, let's make sure that we have everything here in order. We're going to make sure that the circuit breakers are all in, and we have our equipment here and all the documentation aboard the aircraft. And next, we are going to make sure that the landing gear lever is down. It was up, actually, so I had to move it down. There on my controls, and the thrust lever is in idle detent. Everything here looks good. The wipers are off, and we can start the battery. So battery is on, and we're going to, let's see here. We're going to turn the left aft fuel pump on. That's later for the APU. And we're going to run a quick here, arm the emergency lights, and we're going to turn on the hydraulics. And with that, we're just going to come over here and go to fuel and balance. We're going to go to airside services. And of course, there's needless to say that we're flying the Zibo Boeing 737 today. We are going to load the operational flight plan and activate it. And that will bring the jetway in position, and we can now start doing the tests. Okay, so first we're going to come over here and perform the APU and engine fire test. Right, so that checks okay. And the cargo fire test as well. Perfect. And we can test, this is not modeled. All right, so we'll leave that alone. And I'm going to bring some lights here just so that we can see things better. And I'm going to lock the, we need to close the flight deck door first. So let's close that. Actually, let's leave it on. The stewardess will close it for us later. Okay, so we're done here, and let's move over to the overhead panel. Right, flight data recorder is not working. It's obviously not working, but that's okay. So we're doing the Mach speed warning test. And stall warning takes a little bit of time. Maybe this one takes a little bit of time as well. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave that. Service interphone is, we're going to put the adheres on nav. And everything here is good. Let's move down here to the yaw dampers. We'll turn those on before I forget them. Ah, we need the ground power unit. There we go. I think it will work now. There we go. Perfect. And now we can turn on the yaw dampers. It was on battery, so that's why it wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so all is good here. All is good here. Everything is here. We're going to turn on the window heat. And we're going to come down here and let's see, everything here is good. We are going to make sure that the trim air is on, and we'll put the left pack on auto. We're going to turn off the engine bleed, turn the APU bleed. Our final cruise altitude is 37,000 feet, and we are going to put the position.
All loaded up and you are good to go.
Okay, we are all loaded up. Perfect. So we can come now to... We're going to turn on the non-smoking signs and fasten seatbelt signs as well. And that should take care of the boarding. And one of the things I like about the Zibo mod is that you get the, you get the ground services. I did purchase Real Ops, which was released recently. I think it was released yesterday. But overall, I was not impressed, to be honest. So anyway. Let's go ahead and do our FMC, and then first let's check the oxygen here. Checks okay. And next we're going to go to the FMC. Okay, so FMC, we are going to put it here on the side, and let's bring up the Navigraph charts and put it here. And we're going to go first to position in it. We are currently at Kilo, Sierra, Echo, Alpha. And then we're going to go to the next position, next page, select the GPS position, enter it here, and then we're going to go to the routes page. Perfect. Now we can request our flight plan from SimBrief. Again, you need to download the Zibo XML 737 XML file in order for this to work. And now we can load our flight plan. There we go. Everything is there. We're going to go to departure and arrival. I've selected the file with the SIDS and stars, so the departure will be filled in automatically for us. So we're going to go back to the arrival and select the arrival. Now, the arrival, there is no star for the arrival, so we're just going to go ahead and select the ILS Yankee runway 12. And for the transition, there is no transition, so we're going to go to the route, activate, and execute. Let's go to the legs page and let's bring the things up here on the display. Let's go to plan, and we can see that there are some strange things happening here. So we are going to take that one the next waypoint, which is Zaden, and let me clear that. Okay, let's clear it. Select Zaden. Let's go to the previous page, and we are going to put it right here on vectors, and there we go. That's much better. Give us a nice turn after departure to the left. Okay, next we are going to just take a look at the rest of the flight plan. It looks like there are some discontinuities, so we want to go back. We're going to select Nico, put it there, and insert, and then we have some trouble here, some stuff going on. So I'm going to go back here, and then from Zaxby, we want to go to Jillig. So I'm going to select Jillig. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to say enter, and then next page, and that gives us a nice entry into Missoula. Okay, perfect. So we have now everything done here, and we can now go to RTE. So we'll go to the performance, and we're going to request again the performance. Mr. Surveying 101, welcome aboard, and thank you very much for the support. What do you think of Real Ops? I didn't like it, to be honest. It just, all right, so reserve fuel, we'll put 2,000, 35, saying 35. Okay, that's fine. We'll adjust our altitude to 35. Okay, perfect. And then everything else here is correct. So we'll go to the N1 limit. Select. All right, so we are derating our takeoff. And let's go to the takeoff page. We're going to select flaps 5 for departure. And let's see here. Trim is 5 units. And our speeds are 134, 136, and 146 respectively. We're going to set this here, 150, 146. So I'm going to add 10 knots to that and take it to 156. And then we're going to set our cruise altitude to 35,000 feet. And that is done. Good time for us to start the APU. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, APU is now starting. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's perform a few tests here as well. Everything here is good. We're going to put the climb on the second FMC unit. There we go.
Slow.
And we test the GPWS system.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Okay.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
Okay, TCAS test. All right, let's go to Seattle. We're going to go to the weather. And I'm not sure why the TCAS warning or the test is not coming on, but that's okay. We are going to pick up the altimeter, which is 3009. So 3009. And we'll do it on the first officer. It looks like we have it here. We don't have it there for some reason. 3009. And we'll do it right here as well. 3009. 3009. Okay, perfect. We'll switch this back to map. And there we go. Right there. Okay, perfect. So runway 16 left is this way. So yeah, this is 16 left. So we're going to go all the way to the very end and then make the turn. So everything here is done. We're going to come down here and put this on alt off. And this is on normal. This is on auto. Everything is good. All right, perfect. Let's take a quick look here and just make sure that we have everyone on board. Let's go to payload. It looks like still we are boarding a few passengers still. Looks like boarding is complete. Yeah, the boarding is complete. Perfect. So 1 class today for this flight. And we're going to turn on our flight directors on. You have to hold it down. I did hold it down, but there we go.
Adjust vertical speed.
Ah, gotcha.
Adjust.
Okay.
Climb now.
My bad.
Climb.
Okay.
Climb now.
Rejected
Climb.
takeoff is to RTO,
Crossing.
and
Climb.
everything else here is
Clear
done.
of conflict.
Okay.
Descend.
Let's turn on the
Descend.
fuel pumps,
Descend. Crossing. Descend.
and we are pretty much now ready for push and start.
Descend now.
So let me go
Descend.
back home
Descend now.
and
Increase climb.
do the welcome.
Increase climb.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome on from the flight deck. On behalf of our charming cabin crew, as well as on behalf of our first officer, I would like to welcome you on board.
That is definitely not. That's definitely not English in the beginning, but all right. The flight deck door is now locked. And we are ready for push and start. Zibo's looking great, isn't it, guys? I mean, this is freeware, the best freeware ever. Really, really good. Really, really good. X-Plane is just looking absolutely fantastic. Okay, so how are you? Do you still think it's worth using ActiveSky? How do you set it up? It would be interesting to see a video about it someday. Sure thing, yeah. I think it's worth it, yeah. Personally, I think it's worth it. All right, so we are ready to go. Push and start.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
And that's the voice of our very good friend Castrator. For those of you who know him, maybe those who were, you know, still doing flight simulation and watching content creators back in 2015, 16, 17 will know who Castrator is. He unfortunately decided to call it quits. He became a real-world pilot, but then he was blessed with a baby girl, and he decided that he wants to, you know, spend time with her. He actually had her on stream a couple of times, but then it looks like, you know, he just wanted to, you know, dedicate his time to his family, which is completely understood. Hello,
All
Ren.
right. Looks like the
Welcome
doors and
aboard.
hatches are closed, and we're ready to connect.
That is a particular name, Castrator. Yes, it is. Good to hear his voice. Always. Always. Right, so we're pushing the pushback truck is in position. Looks like we have some busy air traffic today here at Seattle. We've got an incoming aircraft on both runways there in the background. Right, I need to make sure that we... Actually, the ground services, yeah, we didn't need to connect the GPU because it's powered by the gate. So all is good here. So we'll just wait for the signal there, and then we'll release
Welcome
the
aboard,
brakes.
Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
All right, there we go. Parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
All right, and now we can start the engines. So we are going to switch off the left pack. And we're going to start with engine number 2. There we go. What had happened? Yeah, I always do that. I forgot to put the buses, so... Okay. So that has reset some of our data. Hopefully not all of it. 156. Right. All right, so everything is coming back to live. Excellent. Very nice looking livery, the Alaska livery. Hi, I love your content. Relatively new to X-Plane 12 and wondering if downloading Simheaven and map enhancement is worth the performance tax on my sim. Well, I don't know what your sim, you know, what your sim specs are, but I'll tell you that it is just a game changer. I mean, this is the very best that I've seen X-Plane, to be honest. All right, so here we go. We have a good start. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Here, let me just very quickly, while the engine spools up, let me just show you again here. Very spectacular looking X-Plane 12 with photoreal imagery. Very, very nice. And this is, by the way, coming from Google. So this comes from Google Maps. And it is fantastic. Really, really, really good. In my opinion, in some cases, better even than ortho. And you can, by the way, increase the resolution if your machine can take it and your bandwidth allows it.
Just about
so this
done
is
here. Go
lower
ahead and set your parking
resolution.
brake.
All right, so let's set the parking brake here real quick, and let's start
And
the
we're disconnecting the tow.
engine number
Give me just
2.
a moment.
And we're going to set flaps to flaps 5.
For takeoff in a few minutes, so please make sure where's your nearest exit, where is your life vest, your seatbelt is properly
Very
closed,
nice.
and Finally, please note that mobile turbulency radar are only allowed in flight mode, and please make sure that Bluetooth is deactivated. Thank you for your attention.
All right, flaps are set. And we'll just now wait for the ground equipment to clear. So I have.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
All right, perfect. Wow, X-Plane is looking great, guys. I mean, now there is no reason, I think, for me to possibly go back to MSFS, you know, with the exception of, you know, me being a content creator and I need to show, you know, the latest and greatest in both sims, but this is really game-changing, guys. All right, so we are... Do not forget to switch the yaw damper back on. Let's make sure that the yaw damper... Ah, there you go. Yeah, thank you very much. And window heat is on. And now we can put the gens back on the engine bleeds are on, APU bleed off, and the packs on auto, isolation valve auto, recirc fans are on, everything is good here. And we can turn off the APU, engine start switches to continuous, and taxi lights are on, and we are good to go. Okay, parking brake released, and let's go. Just look at the sky colors, the clouds. Everything is just looking absolutely fantastic. So basically today what we're using the Zibo Mod, which is free. Simheaven is completely free. Map Enhancement, you can use it for free, but I have purchased the Pro version, which is $40 for the year. Which I think is a reasonable price, to be honest. So yeah, I thought that it was, you know, it was not bad. So you gotta love X-Plane. I mean, it really is looking really fantastic now with map enhancements and everything else here. So yeah. So did I actually go on a runway? I think I did. So let me get off this runway. I was just really getting carried away with all these views. So let me get off here on the, otherwise, you know, we might crash into someone. So let's just take it all the way to the runway, hold short for 16 left. But yeah, so we're using Simheaven, which is free. The Zibo is free. This airport of Seattle is free. And I paid $40 for 1 year subscription for map enhancement, which I think is definitely worth it. And then, of course, ActiveSky XP. I think I've made my money with ActiveSky because I've had it for so long, and the upgrades are always free. I think for X-Plane 12 we paid an upgrade fee, which was very minimal. But overall, I think I've made my money, and I'm very happy with ActiveSky. Is the new Auto Ortho? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very nice wing view there with nice wing flex. Right, so there's an aircraft just landed there on 16 right, it looks like. All right. So a bit of a long taxi here to 16 left. And I will point out a few issues that I've had with map enhancement today, and I'll show you exactly what I've done to fix those issues. There is a free A330-900 free plane. 330, I'm not sure. I know there is a A330-300 mod for the X-Plane default laminar A300, which is, I believe, called Aerogenesis. You buy X-Plane 12 and need a ton of add-ons to make it better, and even then it does not. I completely disagree with you, unfortunately, on that, because I think X-Plane looks, in terms of the atmospheric representation, looks above and beyond, you know, much better than Microsoft Flight Sim. The clouds look like cotton candy in Microsoft Flight Sim. And the overall look and feel of X-Plane, I think, looks far more realistic. And map enhancement just makes it even better. So it's a solution for photoreal scenery, and now it makes it VFR capable. All right, landing lights on, runway turn off lights, taxi lights off, and strobes lights on. We're going to come here to the transponder, set it to TARA, and we are cleared for takeoff. Auto throttle is armed, and we're good to go. All right, let's line up the aircraft. Okay, we have a long runway, so we're good here. Let me reset my view real quick. Okay. Okay, so the toga button is located right here. So we're good to go. We'll bring this to about 40%. And toga. knots. Check.
V1, rotate.
All right, rotate. Positive rate of climb, and gear is going up. Look at that, guys. Yeah. Tell me X-Plane doesn't look good. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, let me head back to the cockpit here so I don't mess things up. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do more views throughout the flight today. Right, we're above 1,000 feet. We're going to go LNAV, VNAV. We're going to lock the gear in position. Right, flaps 1. And flaps up. Command A engaged. My experience has been that Apple Maps is loading faster. Oh, is it, Stan? I'd probably take a look at that. Apple Maps are great, but in EU, you experience more tile changes. I haven't experimented with that. I've used Google Maps. They work pretty good, but I'll definitely give it a shot and try it. Yeah, X-Plane is definitely a serious contender, and it has really come a long way. If you know, I've been with X-Plane since version 10.31. That is a long time ago. So it's been like 11 years now, you know, since I've started content creation, started with X-Plane. So let's take a look at the outside real quick. Look at that, guys. Look at that beautiful view there of the mountains there in Seattle. A very iconic view there when flying out of Seattle. Hopefully the clouds would clear and we'll be able to enjoy the photoreal scenery, which is really great. All right, approaching 10,000 feet, landing lights off, runway turn off, lights off, engine start switches to the off position. Excellent. All's looking good here. There you can see the photoreal scenery there from map enhancement, which makes X-Plane look absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at the clouds in the distance, the scattering of the clouds, and the mountain tips coming, showing like that from the clouds is a very, very nice view. Very, very nice. It's Mount Renner, yeah. Hello, Q8. Shout out from Florida. Student pilot waiting for IR check. Oh, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Right, I think we can put this on auto now. Wow, guys, look at this beautiful scene here as we fly, as we climb, and you can see the mountains in the distance and the tips of the mountains there and right there, and you can see the clouds. This is just really spectacular. Beautiful, beautiful view with very realistic sky colors. It just really is fantastic. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Yeah. I think we'll be able to see more of those mountains once we are closer, and then I think you'll get you know, better appreciation for map enhancement as we approach this area here. But this is looking just fantastic. There you go. This is a really beautiful scene here as we make this turn. Look at the mountains. Look at the details there on the tip of the mountains. Again, I think map enhancement is well worth the investment. Speaking of, oh, by the way, yeah, we're still not there. So I've had actually map enhancement. You might hear some noises. And that is because the house, our neighbor, has decided to demolish his complete house and rebuild it. So you might hear some noises there of the, you know, the demolition is happening right next door. So I do apologize if that, you know, creates any issues for you guys. But yeah, I've actually had map enhancement for a whole year, which I didn't use, but this version of map enhancement is really good. Right, we're approaching 18,000 feet transition altitude in the United States, so we're going to set the baro to standard, and let me switch off to the outside view and take a look. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at the mountains here. Very, very nice. Looks great. Looks really, really, this is a really nice scene there. In my opinion, this is much, much better than anything that I've seen X-Plane deliver, whether it's auto ortho or, you know, global scenery by Mr. X. This is just next level. Really, it looks really, really good. And with ActiveSky, it really does, you know, make this sim look very realistic. This looks really good. There are very nice textures. I love flying over the mountain range. Even in MSFS, I think it's one of my favorite to fly over them because you know, it just looks so good. And you'll find some issues here and there, but overall, this is a major improvement over, you know, over flying default textures, without a doubt. Right, 20,000 feet, about 15,000 feet to go for our cruise altitude. I'm happy to announce that the EHBK scenery is approved on X-Plane Scenery Gateway as recommended. Very happy with that. I'm very glad that you're happy, and I'll be sure to check it out. Is ActiveSky that much better than the default engine? I have it lying around, but not used as much. Well, Simpixel, let me be straight to the point on this one. ActiveSky delivers much more realistic weather, or let me not say that, but let me say more updated realistic weather. So X-Plane sometimes seems to be, it gives you delayed METARs, and that will basically mean that you will not get a realistic weather for the time that you're flying in this sim. And ActiveSky does a much better job, in my opinion, with that. I think here, again, we can see those beautiful mountain tips there with the photoreal textures. Look at that, guys. This is spectacular. Very, very nice indeed. Look at that. Yeah. Just gorgeous. All right. One thing I want to check here is that we have the, yeah, let me just very quickly get the Simbrief flight plan, because that's going to give us more accurate weather. And yeah, we'll just continue now the climb to 37,000 feet. Again, we can appreciate the lovely terrain here, the mountainous terrain over in Seattle. As we, and by the way, Montana is also a mountainous state. So, and I think our airport is at about 8,600 feet elevation from sea level. So we're gonna be in for a very beautiful approach. You should try Neo by BSS. You mean the sounds for the Zibo? All right, I think we have a weather update. So now I think you have a much clearer. Let me bring the engine sounds down a little bit here. I think you can see much better now the photoreal textures there by map enhancement, and it looks just fantastic. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for the weather to update. One of the bad things about ActiveSky is the sudden updates there. So it removes everything and rebuilds it, and that is visible while you're flying. Sim Market, but there are other places as well. I see. No, it's a night lighting mod based on the world light pollution map. It models light scattering through real physics, and nearly every commercial light is modeled. Really? Oh, okay. Very nice. Hello, Dan. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. Do you let AS take complete control? Yes. Well, if not, passive or hybrid, no. I have it at full control. Better than Drishal's, but cost money. Well, I'm very happy with Drishal's night mod, and with the Bay night mod coupled with Drishal's, I think it really makes for a very dramatic and realistic night lighting in X-Plane. So, yeah, maybe I'll take a look at that. Higher runways, I see. What's the name of the mod again? I love the shadows on clouds in X-Plane. They look just fantastic. Here, I think you can see again map enhancement here in the works as we fly over these mountains. Again, look at the masking is done so well. So now, obviously, what you're going to get here is you're going to lose your water. So you're not going to get the nice 3D water of X-Plane because this is all now photoreal textures. But I think it's a good trade-off, you know, between, you know, having photoreal textures. And at this altitude, I don't really mind not having the, you know, the water simulated. So that's the only thing that you'll lose with this. But with it works really well with Simheaven. It really does bring the sim to there. I think here you can see it very clearly. Very, very nice photoreal textures. Beautiful clouds, beautiful sky colors. Everything's just looking fantastic. Right, here's top of climb, and we are about 4,000 feet from our final cruise altitude. Neo, I see, gotcha. I feel sorry for everyone who bought anything from BSS. What's your opinion about the comparison between map enhancement and auto ortho? Well, let me tell you this before I show you, you know, what you need to do for map enhancement to work properly. I have used both. I have used auto ortho and I've used map enhancement. In all honesty, auto ortho, of course, is completely free, so you don't have to pay a dime for it. Okay, but the setup of auto ortho is quite laborious. For one, it lacks really a user-friendly interface, and it makes it a little bit inaccessible for, you know, people who are not, you know, familiar with installing software for flight sim. The quality of auto ortho is okay, but it's not as good as map enhancement. And you get a lot more anomalies with auto ortho than you do with map enhancement. So with auto ortho, you'll get a lot more, you know, black patches, you know, parts of the terrain that do not load. Overall, it is not as optimized as map enhancement, in my opinion. And based on my personal experience with both of them. Now, map enhancement has really gone through some major, let me just show you here. So this is the map enhancement interface. And
long time.
Oh,
Hope all is well.
Benny is in the house, ladies and gents. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for the support. So this is the interface of map enhancement for X-Plane. And as you can see, I'm running the Pro version 4.2.5. And I always recommend that you go to the GitHub to get the latest version. Don't download it from xplane.to. Just go to GitHub and get the latest version. So a much better interface, a lot easier to install, and gives much better results. But it's going to cost you for the Pro version $40 a year, which I think is worth the money. So we are now at cruise altitude, and here you can see the beautiful photoreal textures here as we fly over the state of Montana, heading over to Missoula. Very, very nice photoreal textures there. As you can see here, the entire world is now with photoreal textures, and it is seamless. You can see there's a defined line here, and, you know, things like that will happen. You know, when you're using map enhancement, but in my opinion, not really a biggie. So the continuation is not seamless between those two regions, but I think it's okay. Here, I think you can see much better here, much nicer. You know, just moving between these two regions, I think it looks just really fantastic. Okay, so the only thing you need to do with map enhancement, so let me just bring it up here. This, of course, will be off, but if you go to the packages, the first thing you do when you install map enhancement, you need to come here and you need to select the regions. I do have Australia and the Pacific, Europe, and North America at this point. Because I am using Simheaven, there is no need for you to install the road and building overlays. And obviously, I will install South America, Africa, and Asia when I get the chance. But for today, this was, these were sufficient for my tests and for flying today. Now, one of the most important things for this to work. Now, once you install the regions, you go to the home. This will be, you can select the primary map, which is Google Maps 1. The fallback is Google Maps 2. And that's, again, a Pro feature. If you don't have the Pro, this will not appear. And this will be stopped. Make sure that X-Plane is not running. And the only thing you'll need to do is say Start Service and then Run Gain. Once you click that, it will take you to, it will launch X-Plane automatically. Okay? Now, one of the biggest problems that will probably let you have a degraded experience is if you have auto-ortho for any airport, for any region. Currently, map enhancement is not compatible with auto-ortho, so you need to remove it. And maybe you'll say, look, Q8, I don't want to remove my auto-ortho. And that means that you're probably going to need something like X Organizer. So I'm not sure if I can. I'm a little dubious, but let me. I hope that it doesn't crash the sim. Let me go here to X Organizer. Let's see. Will it launch? Hopefully it does. Okay. So here it's doing some stuff here. So yeah, we're gonna just close that, and what you're gonna see is I have disabled all the auto-ortho in X Organizer for this to work properly. So and that is what you need to do in order to make sure that it works. And X Organizer lets you figure out exactly where your auto-orthos are. So basically, I've let only orthophotos, auto-ortho, and XPME, which is X-Plane Map Enhancement, and the rest I've disabled all of those so that I can run map enhancements here in X-Plane. So this is something that you need to do in order. Of course, if you don't have X Organizer, that's okay. But you will need to remove anything that has auto-orthos in it. Beg your pardon, orthophotos. And that will ensure that you have the proper, experience and load the textures. Now, you can always verify what's happening here. So you can say load it. You can see that this is working from cache, what's coming from cache, and how much has failed. So far, we're doing very well. You have the time and season, day and autumn, for the season. So now we know that it is working correctly. Now, if you see that the tiles are being loaded correctly, but you don't see anything down here, and you see the default textures of X-Plane, it means that you have some orthophoto that is conflicting with map enhancement. So you need to make sure that you remove them. Change colorization during flight. Tiles are changing on the fly. If they're, yeah. What mesh are you running so that it was green in X Organizer? I'm running Simheaven. So we are running Simheaven. And it runs fine. Yeah, the meshes are fine. You can leave the meshes alone. And here you can see here just beautiful photoreal textures here as we fly into Montana. All right. let's take a quick look at the FMC. TD is in 69 nautical miles. Again, short flight. I love those short hops because, you know, I think they work for my schedule and they work for you as well. Hi, Q8. Looks like FPS updated their 747. Would you take a look and take it in the air and test it again for us, please? For sure. Yeah, if that's what you guys want, we'll do that. Right. Let's set up our approach here. We are going to do flaps 30. And we are going to add 5 knots, so 150 for the final approach speed. 150 set, 109.3. Let's that's already set here, and the approach course is 117 degrees, which is set on both sides. And we're going to reset the MCP altitude to 8,600, which is the platform altitude for Missoula in Montana. So let's do that, 8,600, and let's very quickly verify that. So let me come here, and we're going to come over here, select the flight. Let's go to Montana, weather, and let's see. Actually, we want the charts, approach, and there is the ILS Yankee. And as you can see, 8,600 is the platform altitude. The aircraft should begin the automatic descent at the top of descent point, which is now in 56 nautical miles. All right, let me change the frequency here. As a matter of fact, we can do, I think, 1, 2, let's see. Is it 1, 2, 3? I can't remember the frequency for... I know 122 is the frequency for the departure. ActiveSky is not giving us the weather, is it? That's strange. Maybe I have one of the settings disabled. I need to check that a little later. Retired American airline captain and Gulfstream G450 pilot here. Welcome aboard, Captain. Glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Do you have an X organizer tutorial? I can't seem to understand how to use it. It always messes up my scenery I9. Actually, this is one of the products that I haven't done a tutorial on because I always thought that it was very straightforward. The only thing you really need to do is run it, and it should set things up for you automatically. It shouldn't really mess things up for you because that's actually what it does. It fixes things for you, and you just need to run it. It scans everything, and then you're done. Do you use Volanta? Yes, I do use Volanta. I haven't used it for a while, but I do use Volanta, yeah, mainly for schedules. Here again, we can see here the photoreal textures. Again, we can see some variations there. You can see there is a defined line there. So that happens every now and then. But overall, guys, I think it's definitely a game changer and really enhances the flying experience in X-Plane. Looks really good. Again, you can see here some patches and some colorization there. Changes as we fly over the areas. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. In ActiveSky, still better than default weather engine? If yes, which configuration? I've done a tutorial on ActiveSky, or maybe I covered it in one of my streams, I don't remember. But let me just show you ActiveSky here real quick. Okay, so if we go to the options, first set the download interval to 10 minutes. Prevent download on approach. Make sure that is not ticked. You can use VATSIM online weather. It will give you more enhanced weather. And of course, recommended if you're flying on VATSIM. Common, let me see here. Use Navigraph data if you have Navigraph. Obviously, you can put your SimBrief user ID and auto-load SimBrief. The depiction, again, you want to depict hurricanes Now, this is something I don't use, so I completely rely on ActiveSky for everything. You can use the hybrid depiction, and which will mean that ActiveSky will be used for takeoff and landing, and then X-Plane can be used for an altitude that you specify. So above a certain altitude, it will. This is basically what you can do when you enable hybrid mode. Is that X-Plane will take over at above 20,000 feet. So cloud options, I've set this to 100. Cloud icing is 100. For cloud cirrus cloud generation, I've set this to 15. Prevent thunderstorms, do not tick that one. Increase precipitation intensity in thunderstorms, I've selected true. Wind options, I've pretty much left these at the default. Now, if you want to set up things so that they're 100% realistic, I highly recommend that you just open the manual that comes with ActiveSky, and it will tell you exactly what setting is the most realistic. Okay, but I'll do a video on it in the days to come. No worries. High Q8, it's better than the melted scenery and pop-in of MSFS scenery. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. If you don't have a powerful internet connection, X-Plane, MSFS can really ruin the experience big time. Now, here is a very nice look at map enhancement in action. As you can see here, very beautiful terrain below us, photoreal textures. Again, this is all satellite imagery, so it looks really, really good, and it really makes X-Plane look extremely realistic with the clouds and everything else. I think it looks fantastic. Back in the cockpit, we are 13 nautical miles from top of descent, so we are going to begin the descent shortly toward Missoula, and it's going to be a really nice approach, I'll tell you that, because that airport is positioned or located between mountainous regions, so the approach is quite spectacular into Montana. And with the map enhancement in the works, I think we're in for a very interesting approach. So let me bring up the lights here in the cockpit. Let's see here, floodlights, panel lights, and maybe the main panel lights as well. Background, some lights there, and yeah, things are looking good here. Panel, circuit breakers, there we go. Okay. Hi Q8, question regarding XPE. I found out that even after quitting X-Plane, XP is utilizing my CPU, which I find odd. This is the case for you as well. Well, see, when you are done, so now you need to stop the service, and you need to exit X-Plane map enhancement. So what we can do is we can check if, I don't think if the program isn't running, it shouldn't be using your CPU. So just make sure that when you quit, that you quit the program by hitting the X here, and that will ensure that the program is completely closed. Yet even better, I have something here. So when I right click, I can actually end the task. So I normally end the task of those programs just to make sure that they aren't running. And we have begun the descent now towards our destination, latest jets, and things are looking great. Yeah. Nice, beautiful photoreal textures all over. Looks very good. Really can't wait now for the arrival, because it's, I'm telling you, it's going to look very, very nice. The approach is quite spectacular. There is an app image for Linux now. Just go Just got it running. Nice going to mess with this. So very simple to install and run map enhancement. And yeah, in my opinion, you know, map enhancement coupled with Simheaven and ActiveSky is the ultimate combination for you know, very realistic and enjoyable flying experience in X-Plane. Looks like there is a beta out just a few minutes ago. You know, I got a notification that there is a new beta out for X-Plane, something to do with their store, which I haven't seen yet. I think it's still in beta. I think they've opened the store for a few beta testers. I'm not one of them, but they keep, you know, making changes to the X-Plane store, which I still can't see in the sim. But yeah, things are right. You know, those are really good times for X-Plane, guys. So, hi Q8, I'm the developer of the new Auto Ortho fork many people are using. Which parts of the experience did you feel lacking? I'm constantly working on Auto Ortho and would like the input to continue improving. Oh, wow. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Well, the actual interface, I think, isn't always, you know, intuitive. And then the installing the actual regions takes so much time. I think with map enhancement, I think it took me to download the 22 gigs. For North America, I think it took about 6 minutes. I do have a very fast connection, but the same region in Auto Ortho for some reason takes a very, very long time. And then what I do like about map enhancement is there isn't anything that I need to do for the INI, so I don't need to change anything there. I don't need to configure anything. It's pretty much plug and play. With Auto Ortho, there's a lot of things that you need to set up and make sure that the INI file is correctly and start program, then modify the INI. You know, there's some things like that were, you know, I haven't used Auto Ortho in quite some time, so I'm not sure if those were improved, but that's been my experience when I tried it. So those would be my comments, and thank you very much for stopping by and you know, for asking for, you know, for those comments. I appreciate that, and just it you know, it goes to show, you know, that you are committed to you know, your project, and that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to know when we are investing in something, whether it's time or money or both in this case. Yeah, those would be my comments. All right, so here we are again. We are now flying over the state of Montana, and we can see the beautiful photoreal textures here again, as you can see. Very nice. It really does change the experience completely in X-Plane. Right, let me just do... Alright, so this is going to be a tricky approach. So I think it's best that we add a fix. So let me go to the legs page. Let me select the runway. And let's go to the fix page. We're going to add the runway, and we're going to add a 10 nautical mile ring, and then let's add another one at 20. Okay, and now we can see it here. We are, I think we should be fine. All right, let's put the terrain on this side. Those clouds are looking nice. That is a top-down view there. It looks really, really good. I love X-Plane default airports. I cannot stand MSS default airports. They are very good. Some of these issues are being worked on. Thanks for the feedback. No worries at all. Love your work, man. And thank you very much for your dedication to this hobby. I really appreciate it. And big shout out to you for all the work and the effort that you have put out for the community. I think it's you and many others who invest a lot of time. Makes our experience a lot better. So I really appreciate everything that you do, and I appreciate you accepting this constructive criticism as well. Again, it shows a lot of character to do that, and I promise you that when you finish with all the improvements, that I will take a deep look at Auto Ortho. Once again, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Right, here we go. I think, again, we can see the nice mountains there. Very nice texturing. Just really, X-Plane is looking great. Yeah. Right, so we are... so 8,000. Yeah, I think we're fine. Our altitude is we're doing great. 20,000. So we need to grab the altimeter and check the weather information over at our destination. So let's click here on weather real quick. Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Now it's saying YouTube is not receiving a video to maintain smooth streaming. I hate it when it does that. And just right before the approach, you know? That's what pisses me off. Well, let me get the weather here real quick. So, yeah, I think the winds are calm. Everything's good here. Right, so 3013. Hopefully it will subside. And it will just come back. And if it buffers, just let me know, guys. Let me stop this one here. See if that helps. Yeah, it's still saying yeah, I think it's back okay, back to excellent now. So if you are experiencing buffering, it should now subside. And we are going to set the altimeter to 3013 and do it here on the first officer's side. Right, 3013. All good. About 10,000 feet to go. Welcome aboard, Agent. Welcome. Glad to have you with us this evening. All right. We're looking good here. Look at those clouds, guys. Notice when the time of day changes to around dusk, notice how the coloration on the clouds actually changes. And with the shadows, it just really looks impressive. Looks very nice. Here, let me take a look here at the outside. I think you can see it better. And also we can see the beautiful photo textures, photoreal textures there as we make our way into Missoula. Okay, everything is set. Let me arm the speed brake. And we'll take that to 2. We're looking good here. The VNav and LNav on the Zibo is really, really good. It's one thing I noticed about this aircraft. Just really amazing, an amazing aircraft. That's 40 nautical miles. We're about 9,000 feet to go. We're looking good. The link I posted above is to an ActiveSky video. I don't think that you can post links, Rand. What improvements does ActiveSky give over X-Plane 12 weather? Just curious. Well, for one, HD Sim, welcome. Glad to have you here. But for one, it provides you with more up-to-date information. So sometimes the weather in X-Plane is not up-to-date. And the nice thing about ActiveSky is always brings the more recent weather. So the weather in ActiveSky is more up-to-date. If you load the weather of ActiveSky and go outside, you'll see exactly the same weather. And that is not always the case with X-Plane. That's one. Two, X-Plane in a lot of situations just simply introduces rain for no good reason when there's actually no rain. ActiveSky solves this problem, and you have more accurate representation also of the actual cloud type. So sometimes X-Plane will give you overcast when it's not, and sometimes it gives you cumulus when it's actually overcast. So you don't have those issues with ActiveSky. So if you are very, if you are very kind of nitpicky, you're very picky about the weather and you want to really fly in very accurate weather that is, exactly like it is outside where you're flying, then ActiveSky is definitely the solution. If that is not something that you really care about and you just want, reasonably well-modeled weather and winds, then, definitely what X-Plane offers out of the box is more than sufficient. Those would be my, my comments on, what ActiveSky offers over the built-in engine. We can see that the lights are on now. There you go. Just look at this here. You can see the lights on the mountains. Those are mountain roads. Again, look at this here. This looks really nice. Some anomalies here. You can see this patch is, the colors here are not correct. We can see the traffic here, which looks good. And everything here is looking fantastic. Yeah, you can see some anomalies there as well. But yeah, I think, again, what it offers, I think, is game-changing. With all its shortcomings, I think it's a lot better than the default terrain. We're approaching the 20 nautical mile ring here from Missoula, Montana, and we are almost there now. I have noticed that weather issue with X-Plane also. Yes, definitely. Frankly, I'm not a big weather guy, but I almost always buy what you recommend, and I'm happy with that. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. All right. We are approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. And the engine start switches to continuous. And we're going to make sure that the fasten seatbelt sign is on. And we are ready now for our approach. Hopefully I can butter it for you guys just to kind of complete the experience today. Flying into, over photoreal textures for the entire flight. And I think, by the way, performance-wise, it has not degraded my performance whatsoever. So I think it works really well. It doesn't really cause any FPS drops or anything like that. But if you use, there's an option. I need to make a video about map enhancement, by the way. There is an option to go for high-resolution textures, which makes things look a lot better. But at the expense of performance. So you need to be very, very careful when you use that option. You need to have a capable machine, because you might run out of VRAM if you have a a less than capable graphics card. So so that is something to bear in mind. We are at the 20 nautical mile ring. I think we need to extend the speed brakes, so let me do that. Right, looks like some clouds here we're going through. And unfortunately, I don't have terrain radar installed, and that's why we're not getting the weather and the terrain today. I forgot to install that plugin, which is still required for the Zibo. They haven't yet integrated with the available X-Plane weather.
1,000 to go.
Right, 1,000 feet to go, and we are looking good. Okay, and at this point, we're going to go and hit approach. And speed check, flaps 1. Very cloudy approach, looks like, but we should be okay. Alright, we have intercepted the localizer now. And just look at this approach, ladies and gents. Look at those beautiful lights. We can see the runway there in the distance. Wow. This looks wow, simply put. Right, let's go to flaps 5. Look at this beautiful approach there with the lights as well. We have the runway in sight. And the final approach speed is 150, I believe. So let's take this down to 150. Let's verify 150. Yes, exactly. Okay. Wow, look at this approach, guys. Look at that. Okay. Looking good. And that looks absolutely gorgeous. See the lights there? All right, we're going to bring this back and let's arm the speed brake. Switch to 10 nautical miles. Everything's looking in tip-top shape. Everything is loading up. And this is, again, you can see the mountain range here around the area. It makes for a very interesting approach. Lovely scenery here as we arrive. No, the master caution is not on. It's off. All right, we're past the 10 nautical mile ring. We are less than 10 nautical miles now from the airport. So we are going to select flaps 15 and gear down. Wow, just look at that, guys. Wow. This is a truly spectacular approach.
2,500.
Right, speed check, flaps 25. Speed check, flaps 30. And At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect the autopilot and fly the aircraft. Look at the traffic to the left. The road traffic looks really, really nice. The approach view is definitely spectacular. Very, very nice. Beautiful Montana. Right, we're stable. Right, 1,000 feet.
Stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
And we will disconnect the auto throttle as well. My aircraft. Bit of a floater there. And reverse. Ladies and gents, welcome to Missoula in Montana. knots and manual braking. All right, and we've made it safely here. A bit of a float there, but not a big deal. And we've made it safely here. Very, very nice flight today. Really enjoyed this flight from Seattle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. All right, let's do it from right here. There we go. Remove that. And just look at the photoreal textures, guys. The coloring is actually very, very nice with all the lights. Just look at the approach here. Very, very beautiful. There's a tower view. There, let's take a look at that view. Very nice. Here's my favorite. It was going to be a hard one, so I decided to pull up a little bit to make sure that it wasn't a hard landing. And that cost me the float there. All right. That's that one view. There we go. That's the tower view. Can take a look at that now. Again, notice the photoreal textures there. Very nice indeed. You gotta love X-Plane, guys. Yeah. All right, we're going to do it one more time with the wing view. There isn't anything not to like in X-Plane. Wow. That is a really, really nice scene here as we slow down on the runway. Look at, again, the mountains back in the distance there. Everything in photoreal textures looks really, really good. All right, let's remove that. And we'll just find a spot. Let me start the APU. Track the flaps. And runway off. Taxi on. Strobes off. I think this is maybe, I think the gates are right over there. Tell you guys, I really enjoyed this flight and really enjoyed map enhancement. I think it has really made a huge difference in the overall experience. A lot coupled with Simheaven and ActiveSky. Nice flare, 7 to 8 seconds. Hey, B-Sky Check, how are you? All right, I think we can bring the aircraft to a stop there. We'll take position 25. Or is it 24? 2B. Ah, okay, 2 alpha. Not sure how these, the ground marking isn't all that clear. Okay. That works. Parking brake set. And let's see. Put those on the APU. And we can kill the engines. Taxi lights off. And let's see. Okay, and we can now turn on the... Oh, did we forget the beacon lights? Put this one... Actually, we'll put it just in the off position. And that is it. Fuel and balance, airside service. Ground services, connect the GPU, set the chocks. passengers are onboarding. And that is pretty much it, guys. We have the jetway connected and the GPU, and everything is exactly as it should. And this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of our live stream today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm using Drishal's light mod coupled with the Bays mod for lighting. Those are available in my latest 20 freeware add-ons for X-Plane 12, which is available now on the channel. I hope that you guys had enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. And I will see you guys very soon with another video slash live stream slash, I don't know, maybe a short, something like that. But I hope, I truly want to thank you guys for being with me this evening. It's been a lot of fun. And I will see you guys in the next stream. You guys take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.